Hi, it's Mobile Max in West Hollywood, and it's Monday, April 27, 2026. This is my opinion. This is California in a nutshell. DeMaio warns AB 2624, in parentheses Bonta, I guess that's the guy who backed the bill. This is a California assembly bill going through the legislature, and it's called the Nick Shirley bill. Would restrict the release of investigative videos and impose penalties on watchdogs who expose fraud. California State Assembly member Carl DeMaio is slamming state Democrats for voting to advance a controversial new law, AB 2624, to silence citizen journalists and shield taxpayer-funded organizations from public scrutiny. DeMaio has gone as far as dubbing AB 2624 as the Stop Nick Shirley Act. You know who Nick Shirley is. He was in Minnesota showing all these fraudulent Somalian daycare centers and hospices and a variety of fraudulent government-funded programs. Nick Shirley was in California last few months doing the same thing. Anyway, AB 2624 comes as independent journalists like Nick Shirley have used viral videos to expose fraud and abuse in government-funded programs using the on-ground footage and first-hand documentation. AB 2624 claims to be about protecting immigrant organizations from threats of violence, when in fact the legislation would apply to any left-wing group that claims to provide any services to legal or illegal immigrants. For example, under AB 2624, entities like the Somali Laring daycare centers would be covered if they operated inside California. California is run by a bunch of corrupt gangsters. They fully embrace the policies of the black mafia and their proxy Black Lives Matter. They're racist and discriminatory, and they're spreading discrimination and racism throughout their people. I had a driver, a Latino guy, Lyft driver. He was all hateful about how Israel is hurting the Palestinians and defending themselves against the Iranians. Hate towards Israel and the Jews. I think that is fundamental at the heart of the new radical liberal Democrats. They're racist, they discriminate against Jews, and especially white males. And it's open. Go anywhere, go to any business in LA, there's no white faces. I've seen it myself. How do they get away with this shit? And then the liberal media and Afrowood has this brainwashing shit, which makes white males always the bad guys, hypocrites, liars, vicious, cruel, crazy people. I saw this movie last night on Netflix called Bugania. It was a really good movie, actually, but it was straight liberal Matrix. It was, what's her name, Stone and Jesse Plemons, great actors. They had great roles and great dialogue. It was an excellent movie. It's about, naturally, this sophisticated, articulate chairman, CEO of this drug corporation, played by Emma Stone, and a crazy white guy and his idiot cousin, I guess, who, because their mother is dying of cancer or whatever, have gotten crazy and think that the drug companies are aliens from Andromeda. So he kidnaps Emma Stone, and he thinks that her hair is a communication device, so he shaves all her hair. Anyway, I'm not going to ruin it for you. It was a good movie, but it was straight liberal matrix. Straight liberal matrix. Women are articulate and reasonable, and men are crazy, white men in particular, crazy, delusional maniacs. Anyway, any legislature try to pass a bill against free speech when supposedly they're the party that protects free speech tells you something. Do you think these people who allowed $190 billion worth of fraud, that's what they're saying that the last few years have amounted to, $190 billion, with a lot of it going to these NGOs trying to fix the homeless problem, but all they did was shove the money in their pockets, and nobody has to answer for it. Nobody. A videographer, it was a black guy, took a video of a black Democrat trying to pass petitions in downtown LA, and he videotaped the Democratic workers as telling the bums and the people signing the petitions. First, he videographed them, handing them $5 for every signature and telling them just to put a fake name on it. That's why they want to stop it, because they're corrupt. They're gangsters. Do you have any reservation that these corrupt Democratic gangsters would fix the elections? I have no doubt. These corrupt Democratic governance must reveal the electoral rolls. They must reveal their election procedure. As far as I'm concerned, they'd have no problem hacking the election system in either New York or LA and fixing it. And they've got contingency plans. If not that, then they're letting illegal aliens vote in the elections because they don't check anybody. How do you think all these fraudsters got away with the money? California doesn't check anybody. They defund any investigative group, police, you name it. They defund them and diminish them so they're harmless, so criminals can do whatever the fuck they want. I have no doubt that these gangsters would fix elections one way or another. President Trump is demanding that every person voting has an ID, a picture ID. California's already thought of that. They give California IDs and licenses to anybody who walks up to the door. They don't care. Somebody could just fly off a plane from Timbuktu and walk up to DMV and get a license. So voter ID and providing identification with a picture won't work. These people have to reveal their election procedure because they're gangsters. And I don't trust them. They used to be good, but now they've turned to evil people. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thank you.